You can't get out of it by saying I'm sick. There's something else you got to do. You got to feed the poor. Now, when you look at your pocket, see, which is fast getting empty. You don't have but a little. You want to hold on to the little that you got. But God is asking you, if you cannot fast, take some of your money and feed the poor. That is to teach you a lesson also. Because this is something that you need. And if you will give it up to obey a command of God, that strengthens your will to resist the greediness of your own soul. And that's how the white man controls black people, by giving you something in a large measure and then asking you to do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do, but the lust for this is so strong that you carry it out. Can you imagine murder for hire? Hey, brother, here's 10,000. I want you to kill brother. Think over that. Isn't that crazy? When is this brother's life not worth more than this paper? That's pitiful. So if you hold on to this, like this is the real substance of life, rather than the development of your own personal relationship to the divine and to each other, where in developing personal relationships, sometimes you have to give this. Not for the purpose of developing relationship, but you must never be greedy of this. Holding it, hoarding it. Because this is not salvation. But if you can give it away when you need it, that's the same as fasting when you need food and you deny yourself food for the pleasure of God to strengthen your will, and you deny yourself this to help somebody else. It strengthens your will. So when people think you're a soft touch, see, it is they that are the fools for laughing at the charitable heart of someone, while that person who is charitable is developing themselves, and they are in ranks above the receiver. And that's why Jesus said it is better to give than to receive. Isn't that heavy?
Yes, sir.
Now, believe it or not, I try to give all the time. Whatever God blesses me with, I will share it with others. Because once you hold on to this thing and hoard it, and it becomes the be-all and end-all of your life to get more and more of this, you're losing the development of your own gifts. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was right and exact. If you're sick and on a journey, you can fast what? A like number of days. The next verse says, the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed, the guidance to men and clear proofs of the guidance and the criterion. So whoever of you is present in the month, he shall fast therein. And whoever is sick or on a journey, you don't get out of it, you fast a like number of other days when you're well. Allah desires ease for you, and He desires not hardship for you. Now, when we confront the Islamic scholars with this verse, there's none of them yet that has given me an argument, not one.
No, sir.
I said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad chose the month of December for us. because we are new Muslims. We haven't grown up in the faith like you over here. We are new and we are babies. And Allah desires ease for us and not hardship. So to fast 18 hours in the hot summer like they do in the Middle East would be very difficult for a new Muslim. We want to give him a difficulty factor, but we want to give him something that has ease in it so he can overcome it and build his will to continue to struggle. That's a wise teacher. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, for my followers, you fast in December. He was right and exact. Now, if the criterion is, if you are sick or on a journey, you should fast a like number of days, well, stop right there. We qualify. Because I can show any doctor anywhere on the planet that we are sick. And he will not argue with me. And every scholar that I pointed that out to, you could see them chuckle and say, ooh, I never thought it like that. That certainly is a sick people over there, all right. And I said to them, when you took us from Africa and brought us to America and turned us inside out, you put it in the plan of God to make us have to journey to come back to ourselves and back to our people. So it's a pilgrimage for us all the way to God. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not allow us to eat any land animal. And when this pilgrimage, when you get into the real strict part of the pilgrimage, you can't eat that. Fish. So since we are on a pilgrimage back to our God, back to our people, then we're on a journey. Sick and on a journey, so we fast a like number of days in another month. Allah desires ease. Lastly, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad really wanted to strengthen our will to resist the madness of Christmas. Yes, sir. And brothers and sisters, if I never see some of you again, I would appreciate it very much if you would resist the madness of Christmas. I wish every mother here, every father, don't you tell these little babies that some big fat white man is coming down no chimney. You listen to me good. And drop off some presents under the tree when you know it's you giving them the present all the time. Don't lie to your children in the name of fun. Listen to me carefully now. Because what happens to your child when that child finds out that it's you, it destroys their confidence in you because you tell them they shouldn't lie. And when they lie, what do you do to their backside? Come on, talk to me, mama. My mother made my backside blue, black, green, every color of the rainbow every time I lied. So I learned that the lie was worse than the thing I did. And then she lied, telling me some big fat cracker came down a chimney and dropped some gifts off. And I want to find this Santa Claus. And she said, well, he was so tired last night, he fell asleep in the bathtub. I said, Ma, you couldn't let him have a bed or something? And I go stand in the toilet, by the toilet, looking in the bathtub at where Santa lay. Because this cracker gave me all these nice toys. And she laughing up her sleeve. She put it over on her little child. But what she did, she put it over on herself. Because when I found out that she had been lying all along, what do you think I thought? I trusted you, mother. You beat my backside for lying. Now you come up lying. I can't whoop you. But why did you lie? Well, it's a little white lie just in the name of fun on Jesus' birthday. Look at you. How you disgrace the memory of a man you say you love by lying to your babies on the day when a man who is the Spirit of truth comes into the world. No, no, no. You must resist the madness of Christmas. Did you hear me? 3 wise men come, bringing Jesus gifts. They were wise. They knew who he was. What are you bringing gifts for? Well, it was tradition. Who benefits from this tradition? Here they are downtown. You think they believe in Santa Claus? The boy downtown, from the day Thanksgiving came, he was giving thanks. He said, my biggest business day is right around the corner, Thanksgiving. After he got you to buy the turkey and the trimmings, he worked on you that next Friday, which was the biggest shopping day to get ready for Christmas. And they sitting there with the hands ringing over the cash register. And here come Mr. and Miss Fool. Spending money that you don't have. To do what? To say to your baby, I love you, pick the baby up, hold her tight, hold him tight, I love you, child. And I'll give you gifts all year long if I can afford it, but I'm not giving no credit to no cracker. It's me, your mama, out here scrubbing white folks' floors. This is what giving you these gifts. Then your baby look at you and say, oh, mama, you did that for me? Throw her arms around you and kiss you, and you get a chance to draw your children close to you, not close to an imaginary white man, which is psychologically damaging to your little black babies, that you, their black mama, can't give them nothing, and when they get something, you give the credit to the cracker. And that's why all their life they start looking to white people to give them things when it should be looking to themselves. Do you understand? All right. All praises due to Allah. So, how are you going to resist? Deck the hall with boughs of ivy. Ah, la 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 la. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. And then you start. Come on. Silent night. Holy night. I can hear the Jews now. Silent night. It's a silent night because you ain't got nothing. But it ain't silent for him because his cash register ringing all day, all night long. Right. Yes, man. Don't do this. No, Jesus didn't have nothing to do with that. Brother and sister, you come back. Either I or Brother Collett will explain it in detail with you. And you can go to the library and look it up. It will be nothing but factual. Resist the madness of Christmas. Why are you going to buy eggnog? What that got to do with Jesus? Spike it with rum. Come on now. Come on, full of comfort. Want some eggnog, brothers? Merry Christmas. Now you want to get the Christmas spirit. Well, ain't Jesus' spirit good enough? You mean the spirit of alcohol got to be in Christmas, or Christmas ain't Christmas? That's why you buy more liquor on Christmas than any other day of the year, because you drinking to good cheer, right? Merry Christmas. How's it merry for a slave? Good question. Shame on you. You got to resist this. Well, I know I should, but my family, we've been doing this for years, you know. If I didn't give my mother a gift at Christmas, why, she would think that I had lost my faith, and and oh, I can't hurt my mother's feelings. I know you're right, Minister Farrakhan, but I just have to break down. Can I have a little tree? I mean, just a little one. It doesn't have to be a big one. What is this tree? As much as they hung us on trees, you should not want a tree nowhere near your house. No. You know. See that white man cutting down trees. He's back. The Quran says that the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed. Stop right there. Now, the Quran didn't make a mistake. But we know that the Quran was not revealed in 1 month. It was revealed over a period of 23 years. So which Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan? Is there another book that is to come in the month of Ramadan? Or is it that supreme understanding of this book will be given in the month of Ramadan? All the scholars agree that something here needs to be better understood, because the Quran was not revealed in the month of Ramadan. It began in the month of Ramadan. And when that first revelation came to Muhammad, the scholars say it came in the month of December. You hear that? If you can't go the whole 30 days with us, take one. If you get by one, try two. During the daylight hours, from sun up, don't put anything in your mouth. No water, no food. If you feel that you're going to be famished, get up before the sun rises. Get up at around 5:30. And if you feel like you need something, make you something then. It's permissible. But if I were you, I would need food then. I would take me a nice herbal tea, water, and juice. And when the sun or the day begins to break, stop. When it's dark again, and eat. That discipline all day long. Think about it. People going to the water cooler at work drinking, you are just not drinking. People eating their lunch and you smell it and want it, you're not eating. Even during the daylight hours, a man is not allowed to take pleasure with his wife or vice versa during the daylight hours. If you can resist, your will be stronger. And so now, as we read this Quran, we are enlightened by its beauty, the majesty of these ayats. And you would not know that unless you are reading the Quran as we are instructed to do. If you don't mind, I'd like to say something about Ramadan. This is a very sacred month. Not just a month of fasting, but a month of challenging ourselves in a way that after this month, when we take the Eid prayer and feast of joy, after having struggled to complete our 30 days, it brings us to a new day, a new year of our Islam. And so I want to say to those who tried, we thank Allah for you, and you are the beneficiaries of your striving.
Peace, family. Can y'all hear me? Somebody said the volume is low. Can y'all hear me? Cool. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. We said in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. All right, now the question is, how many of y'all really read part 18. Y'all want to go ahead and read it? Because I know majority probably didn't read it, right? I didn't think about it. I said, dang, people on YouTube, they didn't know. So, I know some of the readers may not be here due to us starting at 7. So we could listen to the video so that they could hear it and then start. Just so that those who listen on YouTube, just so that those that listen on YouTube could hear it. All right, let me see. Yeah. So if there's any, I think we're going to go ahead and read it because I don't want those who wasn't inside the Telegram because they didn't get the instructions to miss out. So do we have anybody that would like to participate in reading? She said, I prefer our reading. I know that's right. I know that's right. All right, let's yep, we're gonna go ahead and read it. We are on part 18, page 683. And the chapter is called chapter 23, series 23, The Believers. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna start it off here. Sister Randisha, you may have to do the list based on who's here now, because I'm pretty sure majority of those people they might be here, but some may not be here due to us starting at 7. All right, here we go. Section 1. Can't participate today. Praise be to Allah. Section 1. Success of the faithful. All right. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Successful indeed are the believers who are humble in their prayers and who shun what is vain and who act for the sake of purity and who restrain their sexual passions except in the presence of their mates and those whom their right hands possess, for such surely are not blamable. But whoever seeks to go beyond that, such are transgressors. And those who are keepers of their trust and their covenant, and those who keep a guard on their prayers, those who are the heirs who inherit paradise, therein they will abide. And certainly we created man of an extract of clay. Then we make him a small life germ in a firm resting place. Then we make the life germ a clot, and then we make the clot a lump of flesh. Then we make in the lump of flesh bones. Then we clothe the bones with flesh. Then we cause it to grow into another creation. So blessed be Allah, the best of creators. Then after that, you certainly die. Then on the day of resurrection, you will surely be raised up. And indeed, we have made above you 7 ways, and never are we heedless of creation. And we send down water from the cloud according to a measure. Then we cause it to settle in the earth, and we are indeed able to carry it away. Then we cause to grow thereby gardens of palm trees and grapes for you. You have therein many fruits, and of them you eat. And a tree that grows out of Mount Sinai, which produces oil and relish for the eaters. And surely there is a lesson for you in the cattle. We make you to drink of what is in their bellies, and you have in them many advantages, and of them you eat. And on them and on the ships you are born. Noah, section 2. Noah. And certainly we sent Noah to his people, so he said, O my people, serve Allah, and you have no other God than him. Will you not guard against evil? But the chiefs of those who disbelieved from among his people said, he is nothing but a mortal like yourselves, who desires to have superiority over you. And if Allah had pleased, he would have sent down angels. We have not heard of this among our fathers of yore. He is only a madman, so bear with him for a time. He said, my Lord, help me against their calling me a liar. So we revealed to him, make the ark under our eyes, and according to our revelations, then when our command comes and water gushes forth from the valley, take into it of every kind of pair too in thy people, except those among them against whom the word has gone forth, and speak not to me in respect of those who are unjust. Surely they will be drowned. Then when thou art firmly seated, thou and those with thee in the ark say, praise be to Allah, who delivered us from the unjust people, and say, my Lord, cause me to land a blessing landing, and thou art the best of those who bring to land. Surely there are signs in this, and surely we are ever trying men. Then we raised after them another generation. So we sent among them a messenger from among them, saying, serve Allah. You have no God other than him. Will you not guard against evil? All right. Our next reader will be Sister Fatima or Fatima.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Section 3, Prophets after Noah. And the chiefs of his people, when disbelieved and called the meeting of the hereafter a lie, and whom we had given plenty to enjoy in this world's life, said, this is only a mortal like you, eating of that whereof you eat and drinking of what you drink. And if you obey a mortal like yourselves, then surely you are losers. Does he promise you that when you are dead and become dust and bones, you will then be brought forth? Far, very far, is that which you are promised. There is naught but our life in this world. We die and we live, and we shall not be raised again. He is not but a man who has forged a lie against the law, and we are not going to believe in him. He said, my Lord, help me against their calling me a liar. He said, in a little while they will certainly be repenting. So the punishment overtook them in justice, and we made them as rubbish. So away with the unjust people. Then we raised after them other generations, so people can hasten on their doom, nor can they postpone it. Then we sent our messengers one after another. Whenever its messenger came to a people, they called him a liar. So we made them follow one another, and we made them stories. So away with the people who believe not. Then we sent Moses and his brother Aaron with our messages and a clear authority to Pharaoh and his chiefs, but they behaved haughtily, and they were an insolent people. So they said, shall we believe in two mortals like ourselves while their people serve us? So they rejected them and became of those who were destroyed. And certainly we gave Moses the book that they might go aright. And we made the son of Mary and his mother a sign, and we gave them refuge on a lofty ground, having meadows and springs. Section 4, higher values of life. O ye messengers, eat of the good things and do good. Surely I am knower of what you do. And surely this your community is one community, and I am your Lord. So keep your duty to me. But they became divided into sects, each party rejoicing in that which was with them. So leave them in their ignorance till a time. Think they that by the wealth and children wherewith we aid them, We are hastening to them of good things. Nay, they perceive not. Surely they who live in awe for fear of their Lord, and those who believe in the messages of their Lord, and those who associate not with their Lord, and those who give what they give while their hearts are full of fear, that to their Lord they must return. These hasten to good things, and they are foremost in attaining them. And we lay not on any soul a burden beyond and we lay not on any soul a burden except to the extent of its ability. And with us is a book which speaks the truth, and they are not wrong. Nay, their hearts are in ignorance about it. And they have besides this other deeds which they do, until when we seize those who lead easy lives among them with chastisement, lo, they cry for succor, for succor. Cry not for succor this day. Surely you will not be helped by us. My messages were indeed recited to you, but you used to turn back on your heels haughtily, passing nights in talking nonsense about it. Do they not then ponder the word? Or has there come to them that which did not come to their fathers of old? Or do they not recognize their messenger, that they deny him? Or say they, there is madness in him? Nay, he has brought them the truth, and most of them hate the truth. And if the truth followed their desires, the heavens and the earth and all those who are therein would perish. Nay, we have brought them their reminder, but they turn away from their reminder. Or dost thou ask them recompense? But the recompense of thy Lord is best, and he is the best of providers. And surely thou calls them to a right way. And surely those who believe not in the hereafter are deviating from the way. And if we show mercy to them and remove the distress they have, they would persist in their inordinacy, blindly wandering on. And already we seize them with chastisement, but they were not submissive to their Lord, nor did they humble themselves until when we open for them a door of severe chastisement, lo, they are in despair at it.
Sister Bridget. Sister Grace. Is this the list from people? Yeah,
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ben. Can you go ahead and skip me?
You said unmute you?
Skip me, please.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Diabra.
Section 5, polytheism is self-condemned. And he it is who made for you the ears and the eyes and the hearts. Little it is that you give thanks. And he it is who multiplied you in the earth, and to him you will be gathered. And he it is who gives life and causes death, and his is the alternation of the night and the day. Do you not then understand? Nay, they say the like of what the ancients said. They say, when we die and become dust and bones, shall we then be raised up? We are indeed promised this, and so were our fathers before. This is not but stories of those of old. Say, who is in the earth, and whoever's in there, who is in the earth, say, whose is the earth, and whoever is therein, if you know. They will say, Allah. Say, will you not then mind? Say, who is the Lord of the seven heavens and the Lord of the mighty throne of power? They will say, this is Allah's. Say, will you not then guard against evil? Say, who is it, in whose hand is the kingdom of all things, and he protects, and none is protected against him, if you know. They will say, this is a lie. Say, whence are you then deceived? Nay, we have brought them the truth, and surely they are liars. Allah has not taken to himself a son, nor is there with him any other God. In that case, would each God have taken away what he created, and some of them would have overpowered others. Glory be to Allah above what they describe, the knower of the unseen and the seen. So may he be exalted above what they associate with him. Section 6, regrets of the wicked. Say, my Lord, if thou show me that which they are promised, my Lord, then place me not with the unjust people, and surely we are well able to show thee what we promised them. Repel evil with that which is best. We know best what they describe. And say, my Lord, I seek refuge in thee from the evil suggestions of the devils, and I seek refuge in thee, my Lord, lest they come to me until when death overtakes one of them, he says, my Lord, send me back, that I may do good in that which I have left. By no means. It is but a word that he speaks, and before them is a barrier until the day they are raised. So when the trumpet is blown, there will be no ties of relationship among them that day, nor will they ask of one another. Then those whose good deeds are heavy, those are the successful. And those whose good deeds are light, those are they who have lost their souls, abiding in hell. The fire will scorch their faces, and they therein will be in severe affliction. Were not my messages recited to you, but you used to reject them? They will say, our Lord, our adversary, our adversity overcame us, and we were an erring people. Our Lord, take us out of it. Then if we return to evil, we shall be unjust. He said, be gone therein, and speak not to me. Surely there was a party of my servants who said, our Lord, we believe, so forgive us and have mercy on us, and thou art the best of those who show mercy. But you ridiculed them until they made you forget remembrance of me, and you used to laugh at them. Surely I have rewarded them this day because they were patient, that they are the achievers. He will say, how many years did you tarry in the earth? They will say, we tarried a day or part of a day. But ask those who keep account. He will say, you tarry but a little, if you only knew. Do you then think that we have created you in vain, and that you will not be returned to us? So exalted be Allah, the true King. No God is there but he, the Lord of the throne of grace. And whoever invokes besides Allah another God, he has no proof of this. His reckoning is only with his Lord. Surely the disbelievers will not be successful. And say, my Lord, forgive and have mercy. Thou art the best of those who show mercy.
Chapter 24, Sister Gwendolyn. Sister Gwen. All right, let's go to Brother Russell.
Section 1, Law relating to adultery. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. This is a chapter which we have revealed and made. This is a chapter we have revealed and made.
Obligatory?
Yeah, obligatory. Sorry, I had a brain blank. We have made obligatory, and wherein we have revealed clear messages that you may be mindful. The adulterers and the adulterer flog each of them which 100 stripes, and let not pity for them detain you from obedience to Allah. If you believe in Allah in the last day, and let a party of believers witness their chastisement, the adulterer cannot have sexual relations with any but an adulteress or an adulterer, adulterers. And the adulteress, none can have sexual relations with her but an adulterer or an adulterer. And it is forbidden to believers. And those who cast free women and bring not 4 witnesses, flog them with 80 stripes, and never accept their evidence. And these are the transgressors, except those.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. That word is accused.
Accused. And those who accuse free women and bring not 4 witnesses, flog them with 80 stripes, and never accept their evidence. And these are the transgressors, except those who afterwards repent and act aright. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. And those who accuse their wives and have no witnesses except themselves, let one of them testify 4 times, bearing Allah to witness that he is of those who speak the truth. And the 5th time, that the curse of Allah be on him if he is of those who lie. And it shall avert the chastisement from her if she testify 4 times, bearing Allah to witness that he is of those who lie. And the 5th time, that the wrath of Allah to be on her if he is those who speak the truth. And were it not for Allah's grace upon you and his mercy, and that Allah is oft returning to mercy wise. Section 2. I don't know how to say that word.
Aishas,
slanderers. Surely they who concocted the lie are a party from among you. Deem it not an evil to you. Nay, it is not an evil to you. Oh, nay, it is good for you. Sorry. For every man of them is what he has earned of sin. And as for him among them who took upon himself the main part thereof, he shall have a grievous punishment. Why did not the believing men and the believing women, when you heard it, think well of their own people and say this is an evident falsehood? Why did they not bring 4 witnesses of it? So as they have not brought witnesses, they are liars in the sight of Allah. And were it not for Allah's grace upon you and his mercy in this world and the hereafter, a grievous chastisement would certainly have touched you on account of the talk you indulged in. When you received it on your tongues and spoke it, your mouths, that of which you had no knowledge, you deemed it a trifle, while with Allah it was serious. And why did you not, when you heard it, say it beseems us not to talk of it? Glory be to thee. This is a great calamity. Allah admonishes you that you return not to the like of it ever again, if you are believers. And Allah makes clear to you the messages, and Allah is knowing, wise. Those who love that scandal should circulate, respecting those who believe. For them is the grievous chastisement in this world and the hereafter. And Allah knows while you know not. And were it were it not for Allah's grace on you and his mercy, and that Allah is compassionate, merciful.
Yes, sir. Brother Anton.
Section 3, Slanderers of Women. O you who believe, follow not the footsteps of the devil. And whoever follows the footsteps of the devil, surely he commands indecency and evil. And were it not for Allah's grace on you and his mercy, not one of you would ever have been pure. But Allah purifies whom he pleases, and Allah is hearing, knowing. And let not possessors of grace and abundance among you swear against giving to the near of kin and the poor and those who have fled in Allah's way, and pardon and overlook. Do you not love that Allah should forgive you? And Allah is forgiving, merciful. Surely those who accuse chaste believing women, unaware of the evil, are cursed in this world and the hereafter, and for them is a grievous chastisement. On the day when their tongues and their hands and their feet bear witness against them as to what they did, on that day Allah will pay back to them in full their just reward, and they will know that Allah, he is the evident truth. Unclean things are for unclean ones, and unclean ones are for unclean things, and good things are for good ones, and good ones are for good things. These are free from what they say. For them is forgiveness and an honorable sustenance. Section 4, Preventive Measures. O you who believe, enter not houses other than your own houses until you have asked permission and saluted their inmates. This is better for you that you may be mindful. But if you find no one therein, enter them not until permission is given to you. And if it is said to you, go back, then go back. This is pure for you, and Allah is knower of what you do. It is no sin for you to enter uninhabited houses wherein you have your necessities. And Allah knows what you do openly and what you hide. Say to the believing men that they lower their gaze and restrain their sexual passions. That is pure for them. Surely Allah is aware of what they do. And say to the believing women that they lower their gaze and restrain their sexual passions and do not display their adornments except what appears thereof. And let them wear their head coverings over their bosoms. And they should not display their adornment except to their husbands or their fathers or their father or the fathers of their husbands or their sons or the sons of their husbands or their brothers or their brothers' sons or their sisters' sons or their women or those whom their right hands possess are guiltless, male servants or the children who know not women's nakedness, and let them not strike their feet so that the adornment that they hide may be known. And then turn to Allah, all, O believers, so that you may be successful. And marry those among you who are single, and those who are fit among your male slaves and your female slaves. If they are needy, Allah will make them free from want. out of his grace, and Allah is ample giving, knowing. And let those who cannot find a mate, and let not those who cannot find a match keep chase until Allah makes them free from want out of his grace. And those of your slaves who ask for writing of freedom, give them the writing, if you know any good in them, and give them of the wealth of Allah, which he has given you. And compel not your slave girls to prostitution when they desire to keep chase, in order to seek the frail goods of this world's life. And whoever compels them, then surely after their compulsion, Allah is forgiving, merciful. And certainly we have sent you clear messages and a description of those who passed away before you, and an admonition to those who guard against evil.
Yes, sir. And I think in that ayat 33 it says, and let those who cannot find a match keep chase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Section 5. Brother King Can ready to read now? I think he said he was driving.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can read.
Okay, go ahead.
Manifestation of divine light. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. A likeness of his light is as a pillar on which is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass. The glass is as it were a brightly shining star, lit from a blessed olive tree, neither eastern nor western, the oil whereof gives light, though fire touch it not, light upon light. Allah guides to his light whom he pleases, and Allah sets forth parables for men, and Allah is knower of all things. It is in houses which Allah has permitted to be exalted, and his name to be remembered therein. Therein do glorify him in the mornings and the evenings. Men whom neither merchandise nor selling diverts from the remembrance of Allah, and the keeping up of prayer, and the paying of the poor rate. They fear a day in which the hearts and the eyes will turn about, that Allah may give them the best reward for what they did, and give them more out of his grace. And Allah provides without measure for whom he pleases. And those who disbelieve, their deeds are as a mirage in a desert, which the thirsty man deems to be water, until when he comes to it, he finds it not, and he finds Allah with him. So he pays him his due, and Allah is swift at reckoning. Or like darkness in the deep sea, there covers him a wave, above which is a wave, above which is a cloud, layers of darkness, one above another. When he holds out his hand, he is almost unable to see it, and to whom Allah gives not light, he has not light. Section 6, Manifestation of Divine Power. Seest thou not that Allah is he whom do glorify all those who are in the heavens and the earth, and the birds with wings outspread? Each one knows its prayer and its glorification, and Allah is knower of what they do. And Allah's is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and to Allah is the eventual coming. Seest thou not that Allah drives along the clouds, then gathers them together, then piles them up, so that thou seest the rain coming forth from their midst? And he sends down from the heaven clouds like mountains, wherein is hail, their afflicting there with whom he pleases, and turning it away from whom he pleases. The flash of his lightning almost takes away the sight. Allah causes the night and the day to succeed one another. Surely there is a lesson in this for those who have sight. And Allah has created every animal of water. So of them is that which crawls upon its belly, and of them is that which walks upon 2 feet, and of them is that which walks upon 4. Allah creates what he pleases. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things. We have indeed revealed clear messages, and Allah guides whom he pleases to the right way. And they say, we believe in Allah and in the messenger, and we obey. Then a party of them turn away after this, and they are not believers. And when they are invited to Allah and his messenger, that he may judge between them, lo, a party of them turn aside. And if the right is on their side, they hasten to him in submission. Is there in their hearts a disease? Or are they in doubt or fear they that Allah and his messenger would deal with them unjustly? Nay, they themselves are the wrongdoers.
Praise be to Allah. We are on page 711, Surah 24, section 7. Up next, we got Brother Remus.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Excellent.
Section 7, Establishment of the Kingdom of Islam. The response of the believers when they are invited to Allah and his messenger, that he may judge between them, is only that they say, we hear and we obey. And these it is that are successful. And he who obeys Allah and his messenger and fears Allah and keeps duty to him, these it is that are the achievers. And they swear by Allah with their strongest oaths that if thou command them, they would certainly go forth. Say, swear not, reasonable obedience is desired. Surely Allah is aware of what you do. Say, obey Allah and obey the messenger. But if you turn away, he is responsible for the duty imposed on him, and you are responsible for the duty imposed on you. And if you obey him, you go aright. And the messenger's duty is only to deliver the message plainly. Allah has promised to those of you who believe and do good that he will surely make them rulers in the earth, as he made those before them rulers, and that he will surely establish for them their religion, which he has chosen for them, and that he will surely give them security in exchange after their fear. They will serve me, not associating aught with me. And whoever is ungrateful after this, they are the transgressors. And keep up prayer, and pay the poor rate, and obey the messenger, so that mercy may be shown to you. Think not that those who disbelieve will weaken the truth in the earth, and their abode is the fire, and it is indeed an evil resort. Section 8, Respect for Privacy. O you who believe, let those whom your right hands possess, and those of you who have not attained to puberty, ask permission of you 3 times. Before the morning prayer, and when you put off your clothes for the heat of noon, and after the prayer of night. These are 3 times of privacy for you. Besides these, it is no sin for you, nor for them. Some of you go round about waiting upon others. Thus does Allah make clear to you the messages, and Allah is knowing, wise. And when the children among you attain to puberty, let them seek permission as those before them sought permission. Thus does Allah make clear to you his messages, and Allah is knowing, wise. And as for women past childbearing, who hope not for marriage, it is no sin for them if they put off their clothes without displaying their adornment. And if they are modest, it is better for them. And Allah is hearing, knowing. There is no blame on the blind man, nor any blame on the lame, nor blame on the sick, nor on yourselves that you eat in your own houses, or your father's houses, or your mother's houses, or your brother's houses, or your sister's houses, or your paternal uncle's houses, or your paternal aunt's houses, or your maternal uncle's houses, or your maternal aunt's houses, or houses whereof you possess the keys, or your friends' houses. It is no sin in you that you call together or separately. That you eat together or separately. So when you enter houses, greet your people with a salutation from Allah, blessed and goodly. Thus does Allah make clear to you the messages that you may understand.
Yes, sir. Sister Yolanda.
Section 9, Matters of State to Take Precedence. Only those are believers who believe in Allah and his messenger, and when they are with him on a momentous affair, they go not away until they have asked leave of him. Surely they who ask leave of thee are they who believe in Allah and his messenger. So when they ask leave of thee for some affair of theirs, give leave to whom thou wilt of them, and ask forgiveness for them from Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Make not the calling among you of the messenger as you're calling one of another. Allah indeed knows those who steal away from among you, concealing themselves. So let those who go against his order beware, lest a trial afflict them or there befall them a painful chastisement. Now surely Allah's is whatever is in the heavens and the earth. He knows indeed your condition. And on the day when they are returned to him, he will inform them of what they did. And Allah is knower of all things. Chapter 25, the discrimination. Section 1, a warner for all nations. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, blessed is he who sent down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations. He whose is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and who did not take to himself a son, and who has no associate in the kingdom, and who created everything, then ordained for it a measure. And they take besides him gods who create naught, while they are themselves created, and they control for themselves no harm nor profit, and they control not death nor life, nor raising to life. And those who disbelieve say, this is nothing but a lie, which he has forged, and other people have helped him at it. So indeed, they have brought an iniquity and a falsehood. And they say, stories of the ancients, which he has got written, so they are read out. So they are read out to him morning and evening. Say, he has revealed it. Who knows the secret of the heavens and the earth? Surely he is ever forgiving, merciful. And they say, what a messenger is this? He eats food and goes about in the markets. Why has not an angel been sent down to him to be a warner with him, or a treasure giving to him, or a garden from which to eat? And the evildoers say, you follow but a man bewitched? See what parables they set forth for thee. They have gone astray, so they cannot find a way.
Section 2, Sister Grace.
Section 2, truth of the warning. Blessed is he who, if he please, will give thee what is better than this. Gardens wherein flow rivers, and he will give thee palaces. But they deny the hour, and we have prepared a burning fire for him who denies the hour. When it sees them from a far off place, they will hear its raging and roaring. And when they are cast into a narrow place thereof in chains, they will there pray for destruction. Pray not this day for destruction once, but pray for destruction again and again. Say, is this better of the garden? Is this better of the garden of perpetuity, which the dutiful are promised? That is a reward and a resort for them. For them therein is what they desire to abide. It is a promise to be prayed for from thy Lord. And on the day, and he will gather them in that which they serve besides Allah, he will say, was it you who led astray these my servants, or did they themselves stray from the path? They will say, glory to be thee. It was not beseeming for us that we should take for protectors others beside thee.
But thou didst make them and their fathers to enjoy until they forgot the reminder and they became a lost people. So they will give you the lie and what you say, then you can neither ward off evil nor obtain help. And whoever among you does wrong, we shall make him taste the great chastisement. And we did not send before thee any messengers, but they surely ate food and went about in the markets. And we make some of you a trial for others. Will you bear patiently? And thy Lord is ever seeing. Part 19, section 13.
No,
section
no,
3.
That's part 19.
That's all.
Oh, okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Praise be to Allah. We have completed day number 18. I know some of y'all was a little scared. They said, oh man, I ain't got my book. I got you. Sorry for the delay this morning. Man, I got up this morning and my body said, nope. Oh man, it said, no, brother, you went to sleep too late. I went to sleep too late. But yeah, we here. We did it. So my first feedback is actually on that. I saw the comments on the Zoom and I saw some of the comments on YouTube, and somebody, and they was saying, I listened to it, but man, the call feeds my soul. Something different about it. And I said to myself, what's different about it? See, it's like we are the living word. It's like, it's not that the sister who was reading it, don't got the spirit, but man, it's something about when we on here dialoguing about it and we giving feedback. And I want to point that out. And I want to point that out because I want us to see how valuable you really are. See, the minister recently said, you are valuable. No matter what we have, you are valuable. So those who think, oh, I'm not nothing, your feedback matters. Because she read the same Quran we read today. Yeah, she read the same Quran. She read the same surah and ayats. But when we're reading it together and we're able to feed off of one another in unity, when we're able to hear your perspective, when we're able to see what stood out for you, that is electrifying. That is food for the soul for someone else. We may not realize it, but it is. Yes, you log into the Telegram and you join us on Zoom to get on the Zoom. But yeah, that's one of the first things that stood out for me is the fact that you listened to the same Quran you listened to today, but it was something different about it than being able to experience it on a call because of the feedback. So do not discount or devalue your feedback and what you got out of it. Allah is still working through you in what you think is small and what you think is just, oh, well, that's my little old perspective. No, that little perspective you think is little is big for someone else. So that's the first thing that stood out for me. All right, look like we have Preston number 9. Well, let's go ahead and Preston number 3. Brother Remus done guess. Let's just keep it 3. Preston number 3, if you have anything that you would like to share. Let's start with Brother Remus.
Yes, sir, Brother Ben. Yes, indeed. You hitting on it, man. You made me think about the power call and the power in each and every one of us and our unity. You made me think about, our unity is the key, more powerful than an atomic bomb. All these countries, it's like the thing to do around the world is get me an atomic bomb. If I don't have an atomic bomb, I can't compete with the rest of the world. But most of Elijah Muhammad threw it on us. They said, our unity is more powerful. We all want to be free, but just our unity alone, he said, is enough to free us up. And so this chapter, this particular part today, we got into chapter 25, which I like to say it, Al Furqan, because I understand that that has to do with Farrakhan, the discrimination. And I had this little book in my hand, The Criterion. If y'all don't have it, believe it's the whole speech. If not, it's a good piece of it. When the minister spoke, talking about the COVID and during that time frame. But in here on page 3, it talks about during Ramadan. I was reading it the other day, so I just wanted to pull this out because we're in Ramadan. It says, during Ramadan in the early morning, reading of the Quran, I began to get some of the answers to the questions that I was asking of Allah. And all of you that are watching your brother from wherever you may be watching, there are many questions that you had in your mind over this virus and over the loss of life and over the lives of that were lost and over the pain and the hurt and the hardship of those who lost their loved ones without even being able to say farewell and goodbye and not even to touch your loved one. That was very painful. But I want you to know that the life that you lost was not in vain. And it woke up some of the thoughts that we were reading about. We've talked about some topics in here in the Power Call over the last few days about what we do is not in vain, and it's a part of a bigger plan, and we represent those that were here before us, and the continuation of Allah's word, and you never judge it, what we're looking at, and just keep on moving. And so it was good for me to reflect back on that. The criterion. Even yesterday we talked about the criterion. Okay, thank you, Sister Diabra said it's the entire message. And so, but the discrimination. And as we read that again and over the years, as we continue to read the Quran, I would urge us to look into the footnotes on the discrimination. And the section 1 says, a warner for all nations. And those of us that know, that are blessed to understand who the minister really is, this Mahdi, this Messiah, is a warning for all the nations. And so it's a beautiful blessing that we have that. And it's such a big thing because it's amazing how Allah just makes all things new and has a whole new nation that doesn't have a history of bombing anybody. When you really understand a nation of Islam, yeah, you have Islam all over. And we have a flag, by the way, for those that don't know. Like every nation has to have a flag. And our flag is very unique with the rising of a whole new sun, unlike Turkey's flag. So, you know, a nation of Islam, contrary to popular belief, is not just a black thing. It's not just a so-called Negro thing. It's not just them black Muslims thing. This is something that the world will come to understand is the foundation to a whole new world. And so when you have that discrimination, and when you understand, as I began to learn over the years of being in Islam, about the Mahdi, that's a word growing up in Christianity, there was no conversation about a Mahdi ever in the Bible and Christianity. But you learn that Muslims understand what the Mahdi represents, what the Mahdi will do. So that's all good stuff to just have in our database, because every final call used to be in the Muhammad Speaks. We have the Muslim program, what the Muslims want, what the Muslims believe. And I've come to understand that's really what Allah is going to do, more so than what the Muslims want, what the Muslims believe, because he says this is the question asked most frequently, meaning what do the Muslims want? What do y'all want? I picture back in the day, most time Elijah Muhammad dealing with these white folks. Well, what do y'all want? What's your purpose? What's your mission? What are you all about? So he put it succinctly, what the Muslims want, breaking down those particular 10 points, and then what the Muslims believe. And I'm saying all this because we're talking about a warner for all nations. We're talking about a pure group of people that have been made so humble that we just hearing and obeying, we getting these instructions and we just moving out on it without all these atomic bombs. Master Farad Muhammad said, there'll be a day when we will study war no more. I'm paraphrasing. So, but there will come a day when you will study war no more. We definitely not in that day right now. People talking about the art of war and all that's good information and 48 laws of power and all that's good information. But to understand, by having the Quran and letting these words be in us, we're getting ready to build a whole new world. We're in the process of not even having a heart to be on that destruction tip, But Allah got that destruction tip we're taught in the nation on lock. He can destroy nations for us in a heartbeat. He can, cities can be destroyed overnight with no problem. So he got that on lock. So our thing is to learn how to love, learn how to really maintain the strength, get our discipline right, not get caught in the wiles of Satan, and just stay focused and let Allah work out what he gonna work out. Because can't nobody kill like Allah. I want to see Netanyahu arrest Allah. I want to see Biden and Trump and whoever and Putin think you're gonna put hands on Allah. What's his name? Xi Jinping or something in China. I want to see you stop Allah from doing what Allah gonna do, and we know that's not gonna happen. So I just wanted to exhort us to really understand Al Furqan. Minister Farrakhan, many of us have heard him say when Elijah Muhammad gave him that name, Farrakhan, he was like in the spirit of, thank you, dear apostle. What does that mean? And he said something to the effect of, oh, brother, that has many special meanings or something like that. And I have them in my room, this idea, and I'll share with you over time. And the minister went to Iraq, if I'm getting it correct, and there he found there was a street called Farrakhan Boulevard Avenue, whatever they call it, street, but it was a whole street named Farrakhan. And so just know we have a whole lot more in store for us as we continue to stay in these teachings in Islam that'll continue to be revealed, I'm sure, over time as we leave this country. Don't leave this country, but know that we have our hand on something real solid, because the minister is this pure vessel that doesn't have a history of that a lot of these countries have, that they have to pay a price for. I'll drop it right there, Brother Ben, but appreciate you for showing up. Good morning.
Praise be to Allah. And Sister Coco, no, this is not a replay. We live and in the mix, 8 a.m. Central Time. You are viewing this live. Sister Brianna?
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Ramadan Bark. Man, so there's a couple things that stood out in today's reading. One of them, I'm braiding my hair, so I don't know the exact thing. I wasn't trying to touch my Quran right now. But he was saying that to not be a polytheist, and how some think that messengers shouldn't eat. Like he eats like us, they talk like us, they walk like us, right? And I acknowledged I was a Muslim like a year and a half ago, November 2022. And when I first started praying to make Allah tangible, it helped me seeing the image that we have of Master Prophet Muhammad. And then I stopped doing it because I'm like, all right, well, we don't worship flesh, all that stuff. So I stopped doing it, and I realized that it's okay, because now I try to do, I do it now. Again, it's okay to have your trick of the trade, right? Like, that's still something that may be a little difficult, is making him tangible, right? He is a man, just like another man walking around, just the man, right? And that's not polytheism. Man, what was something else I came up? Oh, it was so good. Darn it. It was so good. I'll tell you what though. Walking in who we are. Like I told y'all, I do like life insurance now, right? See, a bunch of people having GoFundMe's, people pass. No, just get life insurance. But I work in like a Muslim area, and one of my clients is like, oh, well, some of the people think it's shirk, and I was like, well, Prophet Muhammad said to tie up your camel first, then put all your trust in Allah. And anytime I walk in this place, I'm like, Ramadan Park, assalamu alaikum, and like they don't respect me as a Muslim, but that is okay, right? Like I always have my head covered every day, right? But no matter what, since it's not how they do it, it's not respected. And this journey is not to the swift nor the strong, but those who can endure to the end. So we're going to have to deal with some things that are unfavorable, but that is okay. Oh, the last thing I'm going to say is Allah tells us to do our job, warn the people, right? So an event happened in the world, and I posted about it, and I'm reaching out to a bunch of people. I'm just sending them something on social medias, and it wasn't a specific message. I sent it to several people. But one person is like, "You're always trying to push your faith on me. You don't respect me." No, no, no. Right? And I'm like, it's not that, sir. I would just rather you mad at me than God. And he's like, all right, so we won't talk anymore. Right? I've known this person for like 4 years. I'm like, okay. Because I'm going to do my job, right? Warn the people, not be a hindrance to them or just like push myself onto them, but they don't know what they don't know. And it is our job to let them know, right? Talk to the people, invite to the mosque, make videos because people are watching. Even if they don't watch right there are replays. People watch them. And no matter what, having a law mad at you or disappointed is more vast than having anybody else aggravated with you. So that's all we got today. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Sister Diabra?
Assalamu alaikum. Wait a minute, let me put this down. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Well, first of all, this morning, well, I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock this morning. Then I asked Allah to wake me up, and He woke me up right before the Ummah reflects. And I had asked Him in my prayers to please give me something that I could say on the power call, because I usually don't say anything. It's not because I don't want to. I'm more of a listener, but so He did, and it was right in conjunction to what we read, and it's the section 2 in Noah, and He actually led me to a post that I had made. It'll be a year on April 8th of this month, so it was April 8th, 2023. And so I'm gonna go ahead and read that I had written. Noah's Ark is the nation of Islam. It took Noah 150 years to build the ark on dry land. People ridiculed him, saying all manners of things to him. What they failed to realize, the flood for that area was coming, and all those not on the ark would drown, including Noah's son. And I want to interject right here that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said Noah's son excuse me, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said Noah was a righteous servant of God, and he had a son that did not wish to follow Noah. And as the water was beginning to come down, Noah called to his son who was aloof, "Come, son, come with me." And a mighty wave came between him and his son, and he was of those who perished. Allah said to Noah, "I know best who is in your family. He is not your son. He is the embodiment of unrighteous conduct." So Minister Farrakhan has continued to build the ark that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad started from the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Master Farad Muhammad. And I said, "Are you ready to get on the ark? What are you waiting for? Destruction is fastly approaching." The minister said on many occasions, "Watch the weather." Can we just agree on truth regarding this unusual weather we are experiencing all over this world? We are witnessing the fall of America, and also the war of Armageddon has started. I leave you with this from King James Version, Matthew 11, verse 17. And saying, "We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented." The King James Version 7:13 through 14. "Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way." What happened? Hold on just a moment. Sorry. Where'd it go? Oh, okay, here it is. "Enter ye at the straight gate, For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Which one are you? And I told them to check out store.finalcall.com. And while you're at it, may I humbly ask you to add the book, Closing the Gap. That's all I have.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Dr. K.
Assalamu alaikum, family. So I'm really, okay. I'm struggling this morning a little bit. So, I mean, I'm just very emotional this morning. So just bear with me. Anyway, I'm really glad we got on this morning. When I got the message that that we were doing the reading and we weren't getting on. Well, I was thinking for a moment we weren't getting on. I was kind of taken back, but I'm really glad that we did get on and we actually are, because there's a couple verses in the reading this morning that stood out to me. So first of all, in Surah 23, verse 52, when it says, and surely this is your community. And surely this, your community, is one community. And when I read that, that just confirmed to me that I needed this morning. So the verse that I'm going to speak to is also in Surah 23, verse 62. And we lay not on any soul a burden except to the extent of its ability. And with us, it's a book which speaks the truth, and they are not wronged. And Allah has really been working with me over the past couple of days with trials and understanding that trials are given to us for a purpose. And trials, man, I'm telling you, they're hard, especially when you see someone you love going through a trial. I've been really focusing on really being intentional with working on myself and really getting into, reading my Quran, reading, just working on me personally. But this particular morning, I've been dealing with a trial with my, seeing my loved ones, like my daughter specifically, going through a trial. And knowing that the trial is necessary and it's hard, but you have to go through it. But seeing them go through it and the pain and the hurt, and then just as a mother, for me, it's hard, seeing them go through that trial and knowing that this is just a part of the process, and trying to, give them advice. I'm constantly telling my daughter, Allah is trying to show you something through this trial. Just hold on. Don't just hold on. Connect with Allah. Allah wants you to connect with him. And, I know that I'm doing the work on myself, but watching the people around me, and I see them suffering, and I see them, and there's nothing that I can do, because that's a trial that they have to bear. And sometimes honestly, the reality is sometimes, man, it's hard to bear. It really is hard to bear these trials, stand in prayer, constantly, I'm constantly doing these things, but not being able to do it for someone you love, not being able to save them, you know what I mean? And having to just kind of sit back and watch them go through that, takes me to the verse in Surah 23, 101, where it says, and I'm going to go quickly because I see my time. So when the trumpet is blown, there will be no ties of relationship, And so knowing that and seeing that and hearing that is so tough. But I just say, I ask you all to just keep me in your prayers, keep my daughter in your prayers. Say a little extra prayer for my daughter. She's fighting, she's battling, and it's tough. The reality is, although I know these things are true, the reality is it's tough. That's the reality. It's tough. I mean, I'm not going to stop, but it's tough. So I have a couple more things to say, but I'll just come back on later. But I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for you all being on this morning. And hey, just keep me in your prayers. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for sharing. Brother King Cam.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
This is another one of my favorites in the Holy Quran. I've actually did podcasts using this particular section in chapter.
Are you interested in starting your own Facebook?
Chapter 24, section 2, Aisha's slanderers. And it stood out to me heavy because it highlighted some particular points. And actually this morning, because we didn't get on as early, I was able to actually read the footnotes as well in reference to section 2. So in section 2 is dealing with Aisha, the prophet's wife, and her being accused of something that she didn't do, and how the accuser had concocted a lie against the prophet's wife, and then the Muslims joined in with the lie and circulated it, and ultimately it not being true. So, chapter 24, section 2. So this made me think about, obviously, slander and gossip. So it says in the footnotes, it says that he who took the main part thereof upon himself is said to be Abdul Allah ibn Ubay, the chief of the hypocrites, because he concocted the lie and circulated the false report. And then it said there was not a single witness nor any circumstance that could lend color to the false story. So they had accused the prophet's wife of adultery, but there was no witnesses and there was no proof that this had taken place. And earlier it told that Allah requires 4 witnesses. Back in Surah 24, on the back end of section 1, I believe. So why is that important? Well, it made me think about the era of social media. The era of social media and the gossip sites and the blog sites that make their money and their living off of celebrity gossip and celebrity slander. Now, here you have the prophet's wife who is slandered, and everything that took place in section 2 is how we deal, even today, with what's going on with Diddy and what happened with Jonathan Majors. We can go Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, person after person after person. So it says in verse 11, surely they who concocted the lie are a party from among you. Deem it not an evil to you, nay, it is good for you, for every man of them is what he has earned of sin, and as for him among them who took upon himself the main part thereof, he shall have a grievous punishment. But look at this. In 12, it says, why did not the believing men and the believing women, when you heard it, think well of them own people and say this is an evident falsehood. So when somebody comes out with an article and a headline that says something about somebody, why don't the believing men and the believing women think well of their own people? This is about the mindset that we have towards our own people and ultimately the mindset we have towards ourselves. No proof has come out. And the first thing we do is, yeah, that nigga did it. You know what? I knew he was doing that. Like, we don't even think to settle on the good part. We don't even think to settle on the best part on somebody before there's proof or evidence. We automatically go to, yeah, he did it. But then it says, why did they not bring forth witnesses of it? So as they have not brought witnesses, they are liars in the sight of Allah. Now, all these people get on these podcasts and they start running their mouth about all of these celebrities. That dude got up on Tasha K podcast and started running his mouth about Will Smith and Dwayne Martin. Don't have no witnesses. Matter of fact, we ain't heard nothing from him since then, right? But nobody asked, why didn't he bring no witnesses? But there was a whole slander campaign on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin. We got to think about that. Why is it that we think like that? Then 14, if it were not for Allah's grace upon you and his mercy in the world and the hereafter, a grievous chastisement would certainly have touched you on the account of the talk you indulged in. Now, this is the people who's circulating the falsehood. Because not only do you have a person coming and giving this story, but you have commentators and podcasters who are now indulging in the conversation. So we are.
Look like he fell off. Oh.
Man, Sister Randisha did that to me, man. Brother, this thing's so heavy. Though. But
go ahead and finish your point.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna land on this one because it's verse through verse on this. How you could walk through all of these stories and all of this is taking place. But it says that when you received it on your tongues and spoke with your mouths that which you had no knowledge and you deemed it trifle. Trifle means insignificant. Trifle means of little of importance. So we say things about people, we slander people, we gossip about people and think it's of little importance. We think that it's just, that's just the thing to do. We just talk about people, say whatever we want to say about people, and it's okay. But it says, while with Allah, it was serious. So, and then it says, and why did not, when you heard it, it beseems of us not to talk of it. Glory be to thee. This is a great calumny, and calumny means defamation. You saying things about people that's untrue. So ultimately, Allah admonishes you to not return to that ever again if you are believers. So we have to check ourselves and we have to be mindful of this stuff that comes out in these airwaves and things like this, because this is one of those living sections of the Holy Quran, for real, that touches us and resonates with us. And we have to be careful with that, with gossip and slander. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. All right, last two, brother Antone.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a verse in Surah 23, ayah 34, but it's basically it's speaking on like a messenger being sent, and then for those who hear the message and they make the steps to follow it, you got people around you, or people coming from a social media perspective or news, TV, but it say, and if ye obey a mortal like yourselves, then surely you are losers. So here it is, you know what I'm saying, a messenger come trying to give you the truth that's going to save you. But then you got people around trying to tell you, if you listen to him, he going to lead you astray. But we gotta we gotta when people come like that, we gotta question ourselves. Like, if I listen to what you telling me, I'm gonna be led astray. Here it is, guidance is trying to come to us, but then you got others on the outside trying to say if you follow that, you follow a mortal like yourself, you're gonna be led astray. Okay, so why should I listen to you and trying to tell me not to follow him? And it make me think about, and this right here is for those who may be considering becoming a part of the nation or on your journey, and you really strongly considering joining the nation. When I was about to make my steps, and I knew it was nothing but, you know what I'm saying, the devil within this person. But as soon as I made up in my head that I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, write my letter and get registered and everything, this one brother who never even really spoke about the minister to me come out of nowhere talking about, you know, just saying all type of things, you know, false things, slandering the character of the minister, and just basically sound like he was just making up stuff because it was so outrageous. But within me, that let me know, you making the right steps. Because as soon as you make the choice to do something good or righteous for yourself and you head it down the right way, you're going to get opposition. You're going to get something that come and try to take you away from it, or something to try to deter you and turn you away from where you headed. So that let me know within myself that, yeah, you on the right path. So keep on going. Ignore that right there. Keep on going. You going the right way. And then it's you know, one more where in section 4, ayah 51, it say, "O ye messengers, eat of the good things and do good. Surely I am knower of what you do." And then Allah say, "And surely this your community is one community, and I am your Lord, so keep your duty to me." But they became divided into sects, each party rejoicing in that which was with them. This right here make me think about our beloved, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and how his whole journey has been to unify, to unite. And that's a characteristic of when the Messiah is in the world. He makes unity and connections that would have normally been disconnected. And Allah telling us right here, he tell all his messengers, y'all one community. So we have to make sure that we close in the gap and we right there with the minister, because the minister gave a description and he said the nation is not just these little group of Black Muslims that y'all looking at. He said the nation consists of sisters that wear long dress, sisters that don't wear long dress, brothers with shaved heads, brothers with dreads, brothers with beards, brothers without beards. So our beloved Messiah, time up. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. All right, family. Last one is Sister Yolanda.
Yes, sir. Surah 23, ayats 12 through 14. And certainly we created man and extract of clay. And it describes how the life germ went from a clot to a fetus to bones to clothes. Then we cause it to grow into another creation. So blessed be Allah, the best of creators. So I think of God brought the world into existence, and as the capstone of this good work, he created people. He created us so that we could share in his overwhelming love, grace, and goodness through our relationships. So we are created in his image, so we possess the attributes that Allah possesses. And as I spiritually mature, it's my desire to display the attributes of Allah. And in journeying on this journey come trials. So when I face trials, at the end of the trial, it seems like I'm in gardens of perpetuity if I have that in the right perspective. Like it's just flowers everywhere and the wind is blowing and I'm so free flowing and everything is all good. It doesn't even feel like I went through a trial after the trial is over. So when I wake up in the morning, whatever I've gone through, I still try to style my dress according to the examples that Allah God has set before me. I'm not going to walk this straight and narrow path and nothing is going to come into my path to distract me or to throw me off my course. Nevertheless, whatever comes my way, as I look at what the minister has communicated to us, the things that he hasn't dealt with, and I can imagine the things that haven't been shared that he dealt with. So if he brought me through it and he brought the minister through it, he gonna see me through it. And in how faith leads to action, it was mentioned that how can you produce a Malcolm if you don't live that which Malcolm lived? So how can I produce a little God if I don't live the life such as what Job did? So I'm not exempt from anything happening to me, but that practical application of drinking my espresso shot, reading in my holy Quran, things gonna come. Sometimes I may appear, as my children have told me, like I don't have any emotions. I do have emotions, but it's already written. It's already written that these things are going to come. Islam dignifies. When all else fails, Islam. When everything is going good, I'm just living my life, da 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 da. Some come, I'm bending my head on that prayer rug, I'm making my prostrations, but I am striving to, regardless of what it looks like in front of me, regardless what comes on my path. And as Sister or Dr. K was expressing, how when you see your children or whoever going through trials, in the good and the bad, I'm going to put my head to that prayer rug. I'm going to listen to a lecture. I'm going to read my Quran. I'm going to come on my power call Monday through Friday and sip me some espresso, sipping on these words. I'm going to come into my community because God didn't put us here as a community for nothing. He made everything on his own. He don't need us. We need him. We need him. So he put into creation his favorite thing, us. We are his precious gem. We are his jewel. Just follow, trust, and believe. Take little steps at a time. And as Brother King Cam said, as I close, we put our mouths on stuff and this, that, and the other thing. But what about me? I don't have a mouth to put on nobody because I got my own mess right on over here. I don't need to focus or put nothing on nobody because I got my own mess. So let's continue the journey through this Ramadan. We on day 18. Believers, we got this. The Holy Quran is our success. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. I would like to end with something because it seems like the theme of today is trial. So I want to end with a video. To 833-276-7174. Now, share this with your friends and your family, by the way. If you know anybody going through something, and I think there's going to be a podcast that's going to really help them out. Now, what I want to talk about is this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was asked a question. And the question was about, or not asked a question, but he was asked to, can you pray for me? And the minister kind of went on, man, and what he said, I feel like was so comforting that I want to share with other people. So we're going to hop right into it. Let's check it out.
Brother Minister, would you please keep a prayerful thought for me and my family? We are in desperate need of Allah's grace. Yes, sister. You have Allah's grace. No matter what you're going through, there's a way to look at some of the problems and trials of life. If you look at it rightly, you can go through it more easily. There's not one person in this room that has not, young or old, come upon some hard times. There are times when it's so rough till you may not think you can make it another day. How many of you have experienced times like that in your young life already? You have? Yeah. And if you haven't, don't worry. If you live long enough, you sure gonna run into this. Nobody lives perpetually happy in this world. God is so wise in the way He has ordered life. He has ordered life that we must experience the opposites in order to appreciate the good. If you don't experience evil, you don't know how to appreciate good. If you don't experience sadness, you really don't know how to appreciate joy. Do you understand? If you don't appreciate life, you can never appreciate death. And if you don't appreciate what death is, you cannot understand what life is. And so God has ordained that we just have to go through this. That's it. And the only people that don't go through this are the people that don't come to birth or don't live to a certain age of maturity. But there are children right now, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, with certain kinds of diseases that are experiencing pain on a level that some of us have not experienced pain. And they are coping with it. Do you understand? Showing you that this is what life is all about. My son-in-law learned last night that his cousin in Detroit, a young girl, 17 years old and pregnant, was walking across the street, maybe not thinking about where she was going. She got hit by a truck, and the truck kept going. Her sister saw her sister laying out there in the street and ran out after her sister, not mindful of where she was going. And a car came along and struck her and killed her. So both of them are dead, and they're both teenagers. Now that's hard times. Not hard times for those who have lost their lives, but hard times for those who love them and have to bury them and continue on after them. Now, what do you say to a person that has lost 2 daughters like that?
Calling all marketing pros. We have an all-in-one platform built with you in mind.
What do you say to a young man who made the young girl pregnant and he lost the fruit of the womb and the woman who's producing his child? How do you talk to them? But God has made us all to handle the vicissitudes of life. You can handle it. And God's grace is always there if you call on it. And the way to call on His grace, if I may say, is to understand that into all of our lives a misfortune will come if we live long enough. And when misfortune comes, the truly righteous person will say, We are Allah's. He is our patron, and to him is our eventual return. What does that do? That makes you go through your hour of trial with the strength necessary to overcome it. I've seen people literally curse God when things like this happen and they can't understand it. I've watched women at funerals, men too, just cry out. They want to know why. Why my son? Why my daughter? Why you take this person? He was so good. Why didn't you take that wild, crazy one down the street? Why you take my child that was so good? I mean, parents ask these kind of questions. And they think because they live right. And Jesus, you know, I say all my prayers and I read the Bible every morning. Why you take my child? Does that mean that he's not supposed to take your child simply because you read the Bible and pray? What kind of sick mind do you have? You ain't no better than nobody else because you read the Bible and pray. Somebody else don't read the Bible and don't pray, but that don't mean you are better than they because you read the Bible and pray. You have a funny way of looking at your own little righteousness. And some of us think because we're Muslims and believing in the one God that nothing should happen to us. Don't be a fool. Right. If you believe in Jesus and you say he's the Son of God, couldn't get no closer to God than that. But look what God put him through. And that's his child.
Think over that.
Well, if he put Jesus through that, then you hush. Yes, sir. There ain't nobody nailed you yet. They may be planning to. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So whenever your trial comes, if you look at how he prayed when he was going through it, Father, I commend my spirit into your hand. Look, I can't handle this. I can't handle it, but I know you can. I'm just going to go on. I'm going to keep stepping. Well, that's the way I believe that the righteous should always be here. So that whatever happens in your life, you find the inner strength to get on through it. And you got to find the strength from within yourself, because there are times when you can't lean on nobody. Come on. Right. There are times when mom is not going to be there, dad is not going to be there, your best friend is not going to be there. So some connection got to be made with you and your Creator direct, that you can go on through it alone, knowing that you're still not alone. So trials come into your life to see what kind of person you are. Hell, it's easy for you to love God if everything going your way.
Yes, sir.
Can you dig it?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I don't mean to be hip, but
this is good, y'all. It's good.
Look, you got children. Daddy, can I have some candy? Yes, son. Daddy, can I have that gun set? Yes, son. Daddy, can I have a cowboy hat? Yes, son. Daddy, can I have a baseball mitt? Yes, son. Daddy, I want a new suit. Sure, son. Then one day, Daddy ain't got no money. Said, Daddy, can I have it? No, I ain't got it. What? Shoot. Hell, you don't know what you got. You think you got a son. It's like a woman. Every time she asks you for something, you try to give it to her. She says, oh, thank you, darling. Oh, sugar, you so sweet. Bless your heart. But when you tell her, baby, I can't do that this week. And I won't be able to do it next week. What? Well, just a minute. I know someone who can, you know. And that's when you find the strength to say, find them, baby.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And get the hell on out of my life. You know somebody who can give it to you, go find them. Because hell, you ain't here to give her every time she asks whatever she asks for. Hell no. God don't do that for you. And he's God and got all the treasures, can give you anything you want, but he don't do it. So how the hell you going to expect your husband to do it, or you expect your wife to do it? No, there come a time when you're not able to do it. And that's when you find out what you got. I used to do that to my children all the time. And other people's children. I'd set them up. Set their minds up. Yeah, and when I come home, I'm going to do such and such and so and so. And boy, their minds be all set up when I come home. I'm very sorry. I won't be able to do that. Then I just sit back and watch them. So their lips get long and funny. That's showing me what I really got there. See, when you can't take disappointment, then the real person comes out under disappointment. That's when Satan became known, according to the Quran, when he got a disappointment. You judge me to be erring and cause me to remain disappointed? Well, I'll lie and wait for them in that straight path. Say, I'm going to get even with you, God. There's a lot of people like that. As long as you give them what they ask for, they with you. I got some around here that's like that. And I'm going to try them soon. I'm going to build their minds up like they're going to get whatever they want. And then I'm going to tell them, sorry, I can't do it. And then I'm going to look in your face and see how you act.
Yes, sir.
And then bust you, get rid of you.
Yes, sir.
Hell no, you ain't got no friend if you just got a friend and every time he calls, you can say yes, and he say, oh, thank you, you know. That ain't nothing.
That's
right. So you under God's grace right now. But maybe when you're going through a trial, you're being made manifest. Your faithfulness, your strength, your commitment to God is seen more in trials than it's seen when things are going your way. But God tries you with both. Because he'll give you something that's a real blessing.
Yes, sir.
And then see how you act. Then when you got money in your pocket, you're riding high, ain't got no time to pray.
That's right.
Prayers for them people that need it. You know what I mean? I once needed to pray. You know what I mean? Now I got what I want. Oh, who is God? Where is he? I'll call him when I need it. And in a little while, you need it. Well, the point is, either way, when you're tried by hard times, remain steadfast. When you're tried by good times, remain steadfast. Then that's a person that God marks as the righteous.
All praises due. Praise be to Allah. So I just want to share that. I put the link to this video. It's a long hour video inside of the Telegram. But, you know, many of us are going through trials. Many of us are, you know, experiencing trials, and it can get hard. But as he said, Jesus said, hey, man, I command my spirit into your hands. Never know who we are until we've been tried. And what I always strive to remind myself of when I'm going through a trial is that a Muslim is one who submits their will to do the will of God. And if Allah has an active and permissive will, and if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to say that I will face 10,000. You can't do nothing to me besides that which Allah permits. If Allah don't permit it, it won't happen. And so when trials come into my life, man, I say, man, this is unfortunate here. But Allah permitted it, either through his active or permissive will. And if a Muslim is one who submits my will to do his will, well, if it's his will, then I'm okay with it. I may be angry in the process. I may be, you know, a little upset in the process. But if I'm submitting my will to him, I have faith that this is a trial. This is something that, manifests something in me. And I can honestly say everything that I, in my mind at the time, may have been upset with. Oh man, I don't understand this. This keeps happening to me. Years later, I now can look back and say, oh, I know what this was for. I could say, oh man, I can see the growth that took place. Oh, I could see the wisdom that was acquired through this. So when you're going through the trial, I know it'd be dark sometime and we don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. But Allah does. So even if I don't know where we're going, if I'm in here, if I'm on his bus, if I'm on his airline, I know we're going to get there safe. So hopefully that message, man, was able to ease the burden on some of you all's shoulders. I'm sure it probably didn't take it away. It didn't remove it, but at least it gives us a new attitude, or the right attitude as we go through it. Because man, having the right attitude and right mindset through trials is very important, and it'll help us get through. So inshallah, you all have a blacktastic day. And inshallah, we'll be back in the morning at 5 a.m. I'm going to go to bed early tonight, y'all. We ain't going to do this. No, I'm going to go to bed early. We're going to be up at 5 o'clock. So those who don't worry, we're going to be up at 5 a.m. Central Time. So thank you all for coming on. Y'all definitely could have said, man, we ain't starting at 5. I ain't coming on today. So I appreciate everybody who came on today in spite of the time difference. And really, man, I was tripping. I was so sleepy this morning. I thought I said 6:30. So I got on at 6:30, like, man, where everybody at? Then I had to look down. I'm glad Sister Randisha sent the message. That must say 7 p.m. Man, I was in the house tripping, just running around the house. y'all should have seen me this morning. Alarm, I mean, I was in a daze, man. But man, we here. And it was a powerful power call, even in spite of us being a little late. So inshallah, again, I'll see you guys in the morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben